I was about to launch XPilot. FlyJSim client. I don't think they'd like me to check in at the flight levels, although I guess you can.
You can.
Bathroom State College. There you go. All right, it's in altitude hold mode. We are doing 254 knots indicated. Mach 6.8, not very fast. And I should be going faster, so I think I need to increase my throttles here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get this baby going. What can I go safely on my EPR, Torb?
Floor it.
Floor it. For all the great things that I'm loving in P3D, there's this camera system by default is just, it's just so easy for me.
Yeah.
To do like simple stuff. I want to do a tower view of a landing. I know you can do it, but you have to, I think there's just a lot to it. Chase plane I love, don't get me wrong, but hope the new sim has some default camera system built in that's somewhat adequate. Yep. I hope all of the Tech Alpha testers out there are giving the team lots of good feedback on it. You do about 84% N1 for Mach 7.4, but if you want faster, use around 86. So I'm doing Mach 7.7, 7.8 now, and we're doing 90 something. N1 is right there, 90, just below green, just below yellow. More than I should be, but I am in a hurry. Why is my plane turning? Why did it do that? That was weird. Where's the P happy emote? There you go. Oh, and I think Diplex unlocked that with his chat points. That's pretty cool.
But you can unlock emotes with chat points?
Yes. So you don't have to subscribe to people.
Interesting. What do you think about that?
I think you get it for like a week.
Okay.
And
nice.
I think it allows people that maybe can't, it allows people to participate in the P love.
That's cool. Yeah, we love the PE love. That's awesome.
I mean, I've had fun. I put antlers on you.
Yeah.
Overspeed. Plus, you have to watch quite a bit. Yeah, you have to watch quite a bit to earn those points. So, we love the chat participation. That's the key. My plane is turning again. It's like it's losing the track of the Selinsgrove VOR. Because I've put the course in. Oh, you know why it's losing track? Because I'm overspeeding.
Oh, yeah. That. Yep.
So guess what we do when we don't want to frighten the passengers, so we go into heading mode for a little while. Because we are pro pilots, and the passengers are scared right now. For those that are interested, we will be doing a Snack Air Logistics trucking convoy tonight. The start time will be around somewhere between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be in the trucks. I believe Max will be flying in the real world, so he will not be joining us in the trucks.
I won't be flying real world, but I will be.
Oh, you'll be. That's right. You're out. That's right.
I'm out tonight. Yeah.
And he's going to set up his will one day in 2020. And he might drive with us one day. Or Brad. At least with Brad.
No,
Off a
I would
stream.
love to do it.
Or Wreckfest.
Dude, that looks so much fun.
It,
I'm
it
totally. I might be in for a wreck fest at some point.
the
That
P,
looks
the
super fun.
PBR alone is just like, yeah.
Is multiplayer easy to get set up?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for Iowa Scotsman. For some reason, he couldn't see the Snack Air server that we set up.
Okay.
Because, we're cool. We have a Snack Air Wreckfest server now.
Yeah. Gotta have that.
He had to go on his VPN or off his VPN, one of the two, to get to our server. But everyone else has been able to connect. And
Wow.
big
Okay.
shout out to Scotty Adair for setting up the Snack Air Wreckfest server.
Very cool.
You can't see the Snack Air server either anymore. You have to join via friends. Okay, yeah, you can join via friends as well. I don't know why that is. I have no idea why that is. I see it just fine. I just sort alphabetically and I find it. But I wonder, the true question of the day is, when I land in Boston, is that going to be a Wreckfest moment today? Because this wind is pretty incredible. All right. How do I calculate my top of descent? Let's what do we do here? If I mean, in the olden days, you just get it out the chart and you use your abacus and everything like that. But if I'm 8 miles from the Sellens Grove VOR, when do I want to start? I want to start my approach probably before Kingston, I'm thinking. Or sorry, start my descent.
I think you. Did you pass the VOR? I think you're flying somewhere.
I passed. I'm on heading mode right now.
Oh, you're on heading.
I
Okay.
passed the Seg,
Nice.
Sellens Grove VOR just now, and we're tracking toward Boston. We're going.
Nice.
In fact, I'm going to tune in the Poughkeepsie VOR PWL. I'm assuming at Poughkeepsie I want to be at least descending, but I'm trying
Mhm.
I'm having a hard time, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. 53 North is
What's your call
what's the
sign?
easiest way to figure out 90 miles from the airport? And with what I have in front of me, I'm not on VATSIM right now, but
Figure it out.
I can be, but I don't want to be on there right now in this plane.
Fair.
Not yet. I mean, I can bring over the Navigraph charts, right? And we see I'm here, and we see I'm in the airport's there. So on ForeFlight, I would just pinch the screen and drag a line, and I go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm 110 miles out, whatever, or I'm 200, 180 or whatever, or here's 100 out. But with Navigraph charts, the VORs, when should I calculate my descent? I don't have any ATC. I'll give you DME, Joe. I'll give you DME to Poughkeepsie if it comes in. So 114.3. We'll transfer that over. Change our course. The Poughkeepsie VOR is not coming in yet. I'm going to change my heading a little bit. Yeah, there's the descent HTML. I just want to figure out, how do I figure out how far away from Boston is 90 miles? Because I'm so handicapped by ATC giving me this descent, or I'm so handicapped by stars telling me to be at certain waypoints at certain altitudes. Yeah. Hey, are you in the voice lobby 787? It's Russian roulette when you take someone who you have never talked to before into a live stream chat. But Max is here to protect me. But he might come into the voice lobby. He might tell me he's going there now. This is Russian roulette, Max. Would you agree?
I do agree.
What do you guys think? Is this going to go well? I think so. He's a real world pilot. I'm going to have 2 of them. I can live vicariously through these folks. Oh, snack. Oh, the stutter. X-Plane stuttered. That was scary. Oh no. Oh
Oh
no.
boy.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
no!
it's
Throw it
back.
back. Nice.
They're giving you radar vectors into Boston almost 200 miles out. Wow. Just go into the voice lobby. Yeah. That was a sound and a half. Yeah. I'm just waiting for the DME to come in from Poughkeepsie. Is that how you say it? Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie. Yep.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Greetings, sir.
Hello.
You have 7 seconds to activate your microphone before ejection. No, just kidding. Are you there? Hello. We tried. That did not work. Do, 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 do. So, Alex, did you get a descent instruction yet? And if so, where are you? Where are you in relation to the Poughkeepsie VOR? If you could give me that information, that will help me. I'm just going to start my descent early. No, I won't. Never mind. I want to know when to descend. If I had ForeFlight, it would work. Can you break out your ForeFlight? No, you don't have it next to you, do you?
I-4 flight?
Yeah.
Um, I can.
Or just tell me what the distance is between the Poughkeepsie VOR and Boston. Somehow. No one's
I
answering
can
my
do that.
question. Poughkeepsie VOR is PWL.
It's 136 miles, John, direct from Poughkeepsie to Boston.
To Boston. Okay, so I can start my descent after Poughkeepsie. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
How did you do that? ForeFlight
Or
or?
flight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
114.3. You'd think I'd be hearing it. 114.3. Put it in the nav 2 as well. Nope, not hearing it.
Nothing, huh?
Well, I'm coming. I'm flying over the Poconos. Isn't there something fancy about the Poconos? Tell me about the Poconos, anyone? Okay, the other critique I have, and one day this will change, but the weather is in a square. As you can see here, this weather is in a square pattern. I'm not a fan of that. Right here, you really can't tell it's a square, but that's an explainism. Holy cow. When you turn your phone on, you got 21 text messages. Dang,
Yikes, John. Woo!
that's too many.
That's epic, dude.
It's my fantasy football brethren. They're all trash talking each other about the games today. Wine glass, bathtubs, and mirrors on the ceilings. Wait, what? Wine glass bathtubs and mirrors on the ceilings in the Poconos. That sounds like a movie. Not one of those kind of movies, but like a really. I am Mike. Yep. No DME yet. The one nice thing about the 732 is you do have the Avi tab, and
Mm.
maybe that's where Toto Rico is going to put the fuel prices for FS Economy. Is he'll put it in Avi tab? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was integrating it directly for just the TBM, and therefore after the Challenger. But um, the nice thing about this is you can link your Navigraph. Logging in.
John, I did it.
Did you get the citation or no? What'd you do?
I did. Yep.
Oh, pull the trigger. You were debating. You're like, let me check
I
this
was. I
out.
was on the fence.
There we go. Let's see
I'm
here.
hungry though. Ooh, I haven't had lunch.
Go get some food, start up a stream,
Eh,
and fly this bad boy.
I'm not sure how much time I have. It's 3 o'clock.
Mm, I thought I linked. I can close the tab now. It says I linked. How come I don't have charts? Yeah. Say yes, allow. Logging in. Your Navigraph account is now linked to AviTab. Use the airport app to access the charts. Ah, okay. All right, that's just the login. You actually go here to the airport and you go KBOS. By the way, streamers, I don't know if you know this, but some people get really triggered by an angled EFB. So try to change it so you're looking at it straight on. It's especially true for the NGXU when you're looking at the tablet and the chase plane. The most common view is the chase plane has a community view that's like angled like this, and everyone's going like tilting their head. Let's do approach, and we're doing ILS 22 left. Yeah, angled EFB, right, Val dudes? Yeah. Actually, I think you can move this, maybe not. Seems like you could at one point. I know you can detach it, and that's pretty cool. It's a little bit angled here, I'm not going to lie. You can also turn on the geo-referencing, so it'll show where your aircraft is in relation to the fixes. What's that? Oh, you can turn it to night. Ain't that cool? All right. So there we go. We got the chart. How you doing, Val dudes? My wife was admiring the Val dudes Baron 58 original painting that I have hanging on my wall right back there.
What up, Val?
Last night.
Smoke and sign off.
Oh yeah. Oh, where is it? There we go. Thank you, Max. Yeah, Gavman34, you're right. Go to the airports page. Yep. All right, I finally got DME. I'm 66 to Poughkeepsie. Oh, baby. Is she installed, Max? Or,
She is.
or downloaded? Or both?
She's downloaded. I'm just my PC might have the Brad Emson flu, so I'm just trying to do a little bit of operating,
Oh, okay.
minor operation on it. But
You know that GSX had a lot of problems for people, but I didn't have any yet.
really, did he run the update?
No.
Definitely run the update. It was a huge update.
How do you run the update? I don't even know how to do that.
Yes, there's something called where is it here? FS Dream Team GSX control panel.
Okay. inside the
and just
sim, or is that a separate
it,
application?
it should be on your desktop.
Okay.
Yeah. I run that. It was a big update.
But if I'm not having any issues, should I run the
Then
update?
uh, it's your call.
Yeah. Man, look at the PBR. Look at that. Isn't that Duder's work right there? That PBR on that engine. Mm-hmm.
Looks good.
A firm. There you go. All right, we're gonna take a Russian roulette gamble again and bring in Fly 787. This could be dangerous. This is you fly dangerous, Mav. 787's hello flies.
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
What's up?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Welcome to the John
Welcome,
Fly
welcome.
stream live. 1-800 John Fly live. Call in now. How you did?
You guys have nothing to fear, I assure you.
How many questions do you get asked in Twitch chat to verify your real world aircraft status? Unfortunately, we have a lot of people that fake it, that they claim to be
You,
a real world pilot, and so
you
people
know,
it's a little bit sad, but
I agree. It's interesting. I signed up for a bunch of Facebook accounts under kind of a pseudo account because I used to get so much crap under my real name.
mm-hmm.
So what I did is, I joined a bunch of the flight sim communities, and one guy said, "Prove it." And some people jumped on him. And make a long story short, I ended up giving him a picture of all of my logbooks.
There you
And
go. All the
Wow,
there's
that
hours.
is detailed. That is taking it to
yeah,
a whole different level.
like over 45 years of flying. So
Wow.
quite a few logbooks. I log every flight I've taken.
Yeah, forgive all of our skepticism, but really we
I
called
was never
out
skeptical.
we called out a guy the other day. We were like, "Okay, how do you tell if, what's the CSFF on the 737?" And it's I think it stands for cold soak super frost markings on the wing or whatever. Just because every
Right.
737 pilot's going to know that marking zone on the wing for the cold frost fuel whatever. And he couldn't answer it. And we're like, okay, goodbye. But I already believe you. I believe you fully, just not from your logbook pictures that you sent me. But no, I'm just kidding. You didn't send them to me. Just you sound like a captain,
Well,
right,
I,
Max?
I guess
He does have that silky smooth pilot
He's
voice.
got
I will give him
that
that.
you
Yep.
know.
it's when you do the old, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the flight today. We sure appreciate your flying with us. We've got 9 hours and 30-minute flight plan from Madrid to DFW,
Oh,
and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
oh, Max just loves those call
Yep.
outs.
That's true.
Yeah. So okay, so you fly the 787 right now currently, or what's the
Yeah,
current status?
I'm a captain on the 787. I've been on it 2.5 years. I got 2.5 more years to go before I retire. So love, love, love the airplane. It is by far the most beautiful flying airplane I've ever had the pleasure to fly.
That's great. Do you have any of the quality wings products, or
I
do you
I do
sim?
in a little bit. I'm
Yep.
just getting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I just loaded up P3D 4 point whatever it is
Four
5, and
4.5. Yep.
yeah, I got Q quality wings up and running, and flew it last night. In the real world weather that we had in DFW, I flew a Chicago DFW flight plan, and I mean, you couldn't even descend the airplane because it was so turbulent. It's
Mm.
not really how it works,
Oh,
but other than that, it's a reasonably okay sim. It's certainly not a study level sim of the 7.8.
yeah. I understand that. Even the PMDG, which the 737 NGXU, which we consider the cream of the crop with regard to the 73 simulations. I have my friend who's the 737 captain, and he's just purchased it, and he's going through every nook and cranny. And yeah, there are huge differences, but it's how much further along the road are we to the real thing, just based on even 10, 15 years ago. The advancement is amazing. So Not to mention the visuals.
No question.
No.
And the the I would do the 7.3. I flew it for 10.5 years, and the PMGD stuff was so good. I used to use it for practicing for my recurrent training. That's how
Mm.
good it was.
Yeah, I think I got the NGX back in 2013. Yeah, I did. Max was,
Yeah,
how
whenever.
old were you in 2013, Max? 18? 18?
No comment.
17? 18? But no, it's a pleasure to have you on board. You are now validated. Sorry for the, and you never should send
Hey,
someone a picture of your logbooks. You should just say, listen, I don't have to prove anything to you.
well,
I'm here to help you
you
if you
know,
want it, and if you don't, you don't. But you better
I
know what the
totally.
cold frost super soaker sound marker is.
The Super 80 was the one that had the biggest problem with that. We actually ended up, one of our pilots actually designed an STC um, for a wing blanket, a little heater blanket that went on top of the worst part of that wing,
Mm.
um, and really solved a lot of the problems that the Super 80 was having. We actually had a guy take off out of here before we realized what the problem was, and fotted both engines right at rotation.
Oh wow.
Completely lost one. And if you know the DFW layout, he took off to the north, and he made a hard right turn and landed on 1-3 on 3-1 left, and he barely cleared the obstacles. He had very little power. He
Wow.
was really a heck of a piece of flying and a lot of good luck.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those MD-80s. I'll be honest, but I like to hear the stories of nice recoveries.
Yeah, I understand. Well, listen, you were asking about how you figure distances. Um, in old school airplanes like this, which I love, by the way, I love them both. I love all kinds of flying, but the way we used to do it is you figured a 3-to-1, but you'd want to back that up 10 miles or so. And then you have to look at your winds, right? So if you're into a strong headwind, then you can maybe start it right at 3-to-1. So if you're at 30,000 feet and you got to get down to basically sea level, you start 90 miles out. If you got a real strong kick and tailwind, you better add maybe 20 or 30 miles prior to that point to start
Mm.
down. Obviously, you can get into a little more of it with ground speed and vertical speed and figure out how many feet per mile you're going to descend and all that crap. But that I just used rules of thumb. It was a lot easier.
Makes sense.
Now, as far as measuring goes, every pilot back then had a plotter with them. So you had a little measuring device
Is that
that
like the EH6B or what E6B or whatever, or is
n-
that something different?
no, it's actually just a plastic ruler
Okay.
that had a bunch of different scales per inch on it, depending on how the which Jepson chart you were using.
Mm.
So you could use the um, what is it, the NavGraph
Mm-hmm.
app there,
Mm-hmm.
and you should be able to. Is there a ruler on that thing?
Not
And that
yet. That's
not
in their
yet. Okay.
roadmap, and that's why I was saying with Max, I could just put my fingers on the iPad of the ForeFlight and draw a line from point A to point B, and I'd know when it was.
Exactly.
But with
That's a
regard,
great app.
yeah, and so they're gonna add that ruler on here, but at present, I don't think they have it.
Yeah, when you're going direct, I'm looking at the screen now. When you're going direct like that, you're kind of at without a piece of paper and something to measure it. You're really handicapped. If you could do it kind of by looking at the airways and guessing, like you have 37 miles between Putnam and Hartford there.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, you go, there's 37, take your fingers, there's another 37, there's another 30. So it's probably 37 times let's see, probably 75, probably about 90 miles there to Pauline there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that the airways have between Putnam and the Banff, you have 45 miles. So I guess you could even scale it here. You could say here's another 45. Boom. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Using the ME, is that the MEA? It's listed, or not the MEA, but just the airways
Just,
mileage between the 2
yeah,
points. Yeah, that makes sense.
exactly. So I just take my finger, my pinky finger to my index finger,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just kind of walk just like you have an old compass, one of those needle with the pencil
Okay.
thing, and they
Yep.
would walk them like that, so they knew exactly how many miles they were using. It's the old way of doing it.
Okay. It looks like a shell script just posted a PN1 navigation plotter. I'll have to take a look at that. Not right now, but I will.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's definitely that's got to be it. Let me look.
All right, we're in the descent. I'm descending through 25,000. I've decided to put this aircraft into IAS descent, and I've bugged up a speed of 220 knots in the descent. I could actually raise that a little bit until we get down. In fact, I'll descend it to 24,
Yeah,
25.
in the real world, ATC would be yelling at you
Y-
because you're going way
Too
too slow.
slow. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd want you probably about 290 is pretty standard nowadays for a descent.
Mm. And then X amount of feet before you hit that 10,000 line, you got to be getting back to the 250 knots, which is it's always a balance to figure out. Okay, I'm at 290 knots or 280 knots right now in this particular plane or whatever. When do I start to kind of scale back to not break that 250 knot law at 10,000?
At about 12,000 feet. If you're doing 290, 300 at about 12, if you go to 250, or most airplanes will hit that 10,000, 250 knots at 10,000. Just
Mm.
kind of a rough guess. Each airplane has its own dynamics, so you kind of learn that with experience.
Mm. Very cool. Anyone in chat or Max? Anyone have a question for our friend here, Fly787? Thank you for coming on the voice.
I
Listen,
just love listening. It's great. It's awesome.
We are
guys,
very no.
anytime you guys have any kind of questions, I'm, I love sharing this hobby. I think it's amazing and fun, and um, I'm not the kind of I've got a lot of experience teaching, and I was a check airman at my airline for 4.5 years on the Fokker 100, which was my very favorite airplane before the 787. But anyway,
The Fokker
uh,
100, cool.
sweet airplane, great airplane for pilots. But anyway, yeah. And John, we got to get on the 737 or any Boeing airplane, and I want to show you how to extend the center line off an approach so you can fly a heading and intercept a lot easier than trying to go direct to a point.
I would love that.
That's how we do it in the real world.
I would love to do that. In fact, um, the how is the lag time on my stream? Yeah, are we talking a few seconds? Do you think between? It's hard to tell for people, but when someone's showing me, it's really nice that we have literally sometimes seconds between the stream, what you see on the stream, and what I'm doing. But that would be fantastic. Yeah.
You're probably a second is what I'm hearing in
Okay.
voice
Okay.
between what's in my headphones and what I'm hearing you
Okay.
talk when I watch.
Excellent. Yeah, that'd be great. I can do either the any plane. I'm really loving that NGXU though. It's my favorite. It's my favorite 7.3.
Yeah,
But I love the
it's an
Zebo.
amazing airplane.
Yeah. Shared cockpit I'd love to do shared cockpit with Citation Max or Fly787. Can't get it to work technologically with the off-skid descent. We have issues sometimes, but Tel West and Iron Condor and I were able to do shared in the Airbuses and the Zebo, and yesterday we did the Bonanza F-33, and I love the shared.
I saw you in the Bonanza out of where were you flying that? Over near Sedona? Or
Yeah,
something?
we were flying into Sedona from Payson, Arizona. It was an FS economy job, and I was like a kid on Christmas Eve. Just the fact that he could raise my gear for me. He could plot this thing for me. We could both help each other out with CRM and cockpit, was it resource management, and It was just
Yeah.
fun just to be able to. And here's a guy, he's sitting in the Middle East. He's in the Middle East, and he's flying. I'm flying his plane, and he's flying mine, and we're all synchronized. It blows my
I'd love
mind.
that's something I'd love to do. We should do a shared cockpit someday. That's a lot of fun.
It's a little
And
bit tricky to get it working, but once you get it working, it is heaven.
I'll even fly FO.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'd rather have you in your zone and chat being able to ask you. In fact, chat, do you guys have any questions at all? We're very fortunate. I put the validation stamp on this. The stories that we could get at. I'm just gonna take all I can get from your experience. I appreciate your willingness. Isn't it crazy that we're all over here flying these fake planes, and we're having fun. It sounds like you have not. There are some real world commercial jet pilots out there that, in time, they just become a little bit not satisfied with what they're doing or whatever. It sounds like you just have had the excitement the whole time. Not to say there weren't moments, but it sounds like you still have that enthusiasm, and that's great to see.
Well, thanks. I've always loved it, and I've wanted to be a pilot since I was 3 years old. And as a matter of fact, from the company that I always wanted to work for, I'm based in DFW, and I live. You can probably figure out which airline it is. So.
We don't say it, but we know it's Janet. It's Janet Airlines
So,
always. Mindy Janet Airlines.
okay, I'm not real sure the Mindy Janet reference. I don't know what.
Well,
that
Janet
is
the confidential airline that they fly out of Vegas up to Area 51. So whenever someone in chat asks one of my real world pilots what airline do they fly for, and I always just say it's Janet. It's always Janet. Never disclose who you fly for, but
exactly.
there are some that have offered the information, and others I think it's wisely to keep it quiet.
Well, like I said, if anybody knows anything
DFW,
about
yeah.
U.S. airline flying, then they can figure it out. But let's see. There was a question here from DM Bird. I have flown. The longest flight is DFW to Beijing.
Wow.
So I've done. We do Beijing, Shanghai, and Incheon out of DFW. And next summer we're going to start doing Auckland, New Zealand. So that'll even be further.
Wow.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd
I'd
be
love
awesome.
to do that. And then somebody asked me about my flight. Okay, a shell script here about aircraft. Started as a DC-10 engineer, Super 80 co-pilot. Then I went to 76757 co-pilot international.
Oh, wow.
Then I went Super 80 captain, Fokker 100 captain, Super 80 captain again. Then I went, after that, I went to the 737.
Wow.
Then I had a couple years off with some health issues. And by the grace of God, I'm back and loving it more than I ever have flying the 787. And I flew a whole host of general aviation airplanes. I don't have military experience.
That's rare. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people that are in your same level of hours, I would say at least a third of them are military, if not more.
Well, guys my age, when I got hired in March of '86, and I think at the time only 15% of the pilots were general aviation trained.
Mm. And then
it's much higher than that.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh yeah. 15%. Yeah, makes sense. It used to be when I was a kid. I was born in '72. Okay, that I'm giving away my age. I was born in '72, and I was in my first year of college when you were just started to fly. Or sorry, first year of high school. And back then, the idea of flying, it was almost impressed upon the population that you had to go military if you ever wanted to fly commercially because you couldn't afford the hours on your own, and so there was this perception. But the truth is in time, if I had just decided when I was 13 or 14 years old, this is the way I'm going, I could have, because I didn't want to go to the military. I tested for the Air Force as a teenager, and I almost did it, but I didn't. And I think that's nowadays. Yeah, I mean, think about it. There you get now the regional airlines are hiring people with a low number of hours, with and there's a shortage. So very cool. That's a wide array of aircraft that you've flown.
The funny thing is, when I got hired by my airline, I had about 80 hours of turbine experience, no jet time at all. And all of it was piston engine drilling around the Northeast in all the weather. So it's great. It was a great, great, great experience.
That's so cool. Yeah, Mr. Max here. He's got he's got what'd you say? 160 hours turbine in the last how long, Max?
Past 60, about 80 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so cut less than 3 months.
Yeah.
A lot of turbine
But now it's
time.
interesting, though. It's kind of talking about the old days, how people got into main lines. Now it's all, regional flow programs, Envoy, or United, Commute Air or Delta with Endeavor. It's all about these flow programs now. And that's kind of how I think someone will get on to a main line is going through that. But it's really tough to go, straight, kind of like the old days. It's interesting how it's changed and how the generations have changed.
Oh, it's the pilot shortage I've been hearing about for 45 years is finally occurred.
Finally here.
Finally here. And yeah, it's so much easier, and it's good because there's a lot of I knew a lot of really good guys that were really good pilots that didn't get hired. Don't know why. Maybe they looked at the psychologist wrong. I don't know. Sat in the chair the wrong way. That used to be a joke at the Delta interview.
Got to wear the hat the right way.
Yeah, exactly. But so that was something I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was.
That reminds me of when I interviewed for the Oakland Police Department. There was 750 people. No. There's like 1,100 people that took the written exam, and out of that 1,100, they invited 350, 400 to interview, and they were hiring 55 police officers. And I remember being in that interview. They had like 3 people on the board, and it was the way I was sitting. It was something because I thought I nailed that interview. And they ended up, out of the 55 officers, there was like 4 white guys. I was like, come on. You need a white guy in the Oakland PD. Come on now. But anyway, I didn't go to the police route as a result of not getting hired that day.
Well, somebody had a different plan for you then, right?
Yeah, exactly. I went into computers. And computers have paid the bills for a long time. So
great way to pay the bills, and they're not likely to kill you either. So
yeah, exactly.
You don't have anybody shooting real bullets at you anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I know I was going to say, John, you said you were born in 72. I started flying when you were 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, and then you went commercially when I was 13, 14, something like that. Yeah, hold on one second. Okay. So you started flying GA in 74 then.
Yeah, my first hour was, let's see, September 14th, 1974 in a Cherokee 140 in Rochester.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. That was my dad was a private pilot. He was flying Skyhawks and Skylanes and gliders and he got hit to in the late 60s, and he flew a lot in the 70s. And my earliest memories are of that family plane that we had, the Skyhawk. So it was pretty cool.
Nice. I would always wanted an airplane. I never took the dive into it. But Shell, I've been in DFW most of my whole career. I spent 6 months in New York, based at LaGuardia, and then transferred to DFW and been living here ever.
What's your favorite airport to fly into? Not necessarily the airport itself once you land, but to fly into.
By far, I would have to say DCA, the River Visual to
Ooh,
19. Love that.
like
I
sim
love
pilots.
going into
Yeah.
Yeah, I love going into Orange County, Santa Ana, Orange County.
John
Used to
Wayne?
do that a lot. Yep.
Wow.
Flew the 7-3 in and out of there a
Sheesh.
lot. That was my favorite trip actually on the 7-3.
Back then it was probably
Um,
19. 19 right. Yeah. Instead of
that's
20.
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. The Earth is moving, right? The magnetic
Mhm.
field. I mean,
Mhm.
but and then LaGuardia, if you get the river visual to 3-1, that's a fun. I mean, the expressway visual to 3-1. That's a fun approach to fly to.
I think those are both gorgeous, gorgeous approaches. And from the sim perspective, maybe one day I'll see it firsthand in the real world when I buy a jump seat. All
Yeah,
right, we're in passing through 13,000. I'm going to lower my indicated airspeed here. No, yeah, I'll go there. That's fine. We're just parallel the airport, and we're gonna fly. We're gonna get down to the. I need to get down to 4,000. Yep, that's set. Because we need on the ILS 22 left at Boston. Can someone do an exclamation METAR KBOS, please? So I'll just call you 787 for now. But
Guys, I gotta run. I'll see you guys a little
oh,
bit.
Max, I
Good
was
talking
gonna
to you.
ask
Yep,
you.
see you.
Uh,
Jay, go
take
ahead. Go
care.
ahead.
Great talking to you.
Yeah, you too. What's up, John?
Are you gonna be able to do the citation, maybe?
Yeah, a little bit later. I just have to go do something with my mom.
All right, enjoy.
She's
See
calling
ya.
me. All right, see ya. Bye.
Okay. So I was going to tell you the story of Max and I. He let me fly with him from White Plains, and we actually flew into Boston in the real world in his excuse me, in his Cirrus SR-22, and I'll never forget the whole experience. I got a video of it and everything. We even had birds on short final. We had to kind of like move the plane a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boy, that SR-22, those are beautiful airplanes. I always want to fly one. I think that's when I retire. I think I'm going to try to find a good group of people to get into an airplane with, or at least find one I can rent that's been nicely maintained.
Mm-hmm. If you ever, yeah, anyone that is going for a Cirrus, and they, they're not cheap, but I would highly recommend a G6 because of the speed of the boot up of the avionics. That's a big deal. But then again, you got to go a little older to save a little bit of money because they tend to keep their value.
Yeah, they do. They're good airplanes. I don't know. Airplanes are really expensive to own and maintain. That's why I kind of like to rent.
Yeah, renting I think is the way to go for sure. 110.3 on the ILS, and we'll put it into nav 2 as well. 110.3. Make sure that that's active here. And then I'm slowing back to 230 right now. I'm going to add some engine so we don't stall, because I'm going to level up. Well, I'm not going to level off yet. Hold on. Let's do IAS. All right, I'm just bringing back the engine so we do start to drop. Yeah, what it's doing is it's pitching up to find that 220 IAS that I set, and then it'll start to descend. We're fine. This is why it's tricky to take it on Pilot Edge or VATSIM, is that it's not like the FMC fully automated, VNAV and flight level change. This you have to really be ahead of the plane in order to get the altitudes that the ATC wants you to be on. I'm going to go ahead and go downwind here for a little bit. Right downwind for 22 left. All right, we're going on a heading of 040. Actually, we'll go 030 here for a second. Yeah, gusting 31. So winds is 230 at 25, gusting 31. This is going to be sporty.
Well, if you're going into 2-2, you'll only have 10-degree crosswind. That shouldn't be too.
I'm trying to have some drama on the channel.
Sorry, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, land on
Land with
take
a
one,
with a
take
tail
on
tailwind.
1-5.
Yeah, take it on.
Take it on 1-5. Then you'll have some.
Yeah. So how did you find Twitch?
I just found Twitch about 8 months ago, and I have to say, my wife's getting a little bit upset with me. I'm pretty addicted to it. I've got a number of streamers that I like to follow, and I love it. I mean, it's funny because I use Twitch. I used to play World of Warcraft, so I used what was it before it was Twitch?
Justin TV?
No, it wasn't TV. It was just they handled all the add-ons for World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
And then it became Twitch. And I kept seeing this Twitch TV stuff. What is that? Oh, people playing the game. Oh, that's how I kind of finally said, well, let me check this out,
Mm.
And in fact, it tweaked my interest in learning to play the guitar. So I've been taking lessons now for about 6 months, and I'm learning to play the guitar because I watch people on Rocksmith, and I said,
Oh, wow.
they can do it. Why can't I do it? So it's been a great experience.
I like that. I'm always curious how people find us because I'm like you. I watch a lot of streamers fly planes and a few other games, and sometimes just chatting. And it's to me, it's a lot more better than the vast majority of the, excuse me, the channels that are available to me on my television. And, and I think that the community will grow if people find out about us over here and we can all share in the love, but there'll become a point where potentially the chat may become too overwhelming. I like the pace of my chat room because we can keep track of this, that, and the other, and we can develop these personal relationships with these people. I mean, some of these people I've hung out with in the real world. Some of them have my phone number. Some of them are going to meet up in Vegas in June. But it's great. But I'm always curious how people find Twitch.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, Shell, thanks. Curse Gaming, that's correct. And 53 North, I'd probably add about 15 knots. Our manuals just changed. We took out all of the 20 knot references to 15 because it was causing most of us to get way too far down the runway. So we've gone to 15 knots, and I think that's pretty good. I used to very rarely use the full 20 anyway because of that issue. You're going to float like crazy.
Makes sense.
And that was based too back in the old, now like an airplane like this, you got old school engines that spool up pretty slowly. And so, that was kind of the idea is you had that 20 knots to give yourself a little time for the engine to spool up if you need to go around or add some thrust. So, but I'd still probably run 15 knots. I think it'd probably be all right because you're not into the crosswind very much here. You're just going to get a lot of gustiness.
Yeah, Bird found Twitch while watching Cat Strader on YouTube years ago. Yeah, Cat Strader a long time ago was on YouTube and Twitch, and he's brought a lot of people over to the platform. Then I saw Thirstmaster stream it. Oh my gosh, that's taking me back. Yeah, I dumped a. By the way, what should I call you? I don't know yet. Should I call you Flies?
You call me Flies. You can call me Flies is pretty much what most people call.
All right, Flies. I was at my friend Josh Gibbs. He lives in San Diego. He introduced me to X-Plane and Orthophoto. He and my other friend Marcus, and I was a P3D guy only back then. Prior, FSX and all that before that. But anyway, we're at his house, and we were having a few adult beverages, and I dumped a rum and Coke all over his $400 joystick live on stream.
Oh no!
And so
way.
and there's a clip of it. It's got a few potty words in it, and yeah, there's a clip of me hitting my drink and all over his Thrustmaster Warthog Hotas $400 setup. live.
I had my Warthog HOTAS for about a year, but hardly used it at all. And I started playing with playing um, Combat Sim
Mm.
CSS,
Oh,
whatever it
DS
is.
DCS. Yeah.
Thanks, DCS. I
Yeah.
started playing that, and anyway, long story short, I I thought it was bolted down to my desk thing here that has a bunch of metal stands on it, so you can rest your joystick or mouse
Mm-hmm.
on. And I picked that up to remove it, and it fell right off, and it landed joystick side down
Oh.
and smashed the plastic gimbals.
Oh.
And so that was $165 mistake.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I had a few foul words come out of my mouth when I did that.
I bet. Yeah. A few colorful metaphors. So FlyJG. There's the outside shot of the Western Airlines livery of the 737-200. I'm in very windy conditions here in Boston, coming into ILS 22 left. And I'll do a flyby for you even. Here we go. Oh, look at the crab. Look at the crab angle. Oh my goodness. That is a monster crab. Uh-oh. This is going to be sporty. I think the winds have shifted a bit. So I got winds at 2. Oh no, they're direct headwind for the runway, so it's because I'm on a intercept angle for the localizer is why I'm having the crab. All right, just so you guys can see what I'm doing visually here. This is me. This is my plane coming in. We're going to ILS 22 left. We're supposed to be at Wayne at 3,000, so we better get down to 3,000, and then we'll come down and hit the approach here. So I'm going to reset this. In fact, I'll just reset it all the way down here.
I've got this airplane. I've got in the 7.2 for XP. I've got to fly those. That's just a great airplane.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I've reminded myself of how amazing this aircraft actually is. So, oh, pitching up now. What's it doing? Get down.
By the way, the other day I saw you were flying, I think the 7.3. Yeah. You know what the best drag device is in the 7.3? It's the
Gear.
landing gear.
Yeah.
And I watched the Southwest guys fly right over my house. And before I started flying the 7.3, I was like, these guys are like at 6,000 or 8,000 feet with the gear down. Well, now I know why. That's how you, that's don't be afraid to use it. I used to use it to get down if I needed to.
Yeah.
As long as I was obviously below gear speed, but I'd never drop it below 200 or above 250 knots. But I'd throw that gear down and pick it back up if I needed to. But it's your bet. That's one technique that you got to use sometimes in the 73800, especially.
Yeah. Another pilot friend of mine said, nothing wrong with getting the bird dirty early. Oh, we got an American, or no, an Alaska Airlines number 12. I'm getting all of this real world traffic going into Boston. Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's from the real world. So if you guys go over to Flight Radar 24, you'll see where Alaska 12, ASA 12 just flew in from. That is amazing. That's injected into the sim. All right, I'm going to change my heading just slightly here.
Is that an add-on?
Yeah, it's an add-on called
XP?
live traffic.
Thanks. I got to.
If you type exclamation live traffic into my chat room, you'll get a link to the program. I think it requires a subscription now though for this feeder. I have an old version of it that doesn't require the subscription for some reason. I don't know why. I think they changed the code to require the more accurate feeder, but it yeah. No, live traffic, not live chat, live traffic in the chat room. All right, I'm going to put in some additional flaps here. All right, I think I'm on a course here. I'm gonna do auto approach here. And I'm not gonna arm the approach until I get to the Vocus waypoint. We need to be at Vocus at 1700. We're at 175 knots. We're looking pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit of power so I don't have to do... See, if I add power in this situation, my vertical speed comes back to a little more manageable situation. I'm going to slightly change my heading here. I'm going to try to do a VOR loc now. A plane just took off and right in front of me. I don't know. Okay, we are picking up the localizer. So we just picked up the localizer. We've got a lot of real-world traffic. Yeah, there's the link. Do live traffic ever interfere with your landings? Yes, they do. They're very not aware of you. Imagine if it was like voodoo dolls and we loaded up live traffic and suddenly we're in our 737 is in the real world, landing at Boston. The voodoo magic. All right, add power. More flaps. And I'm going to go... Our DME is 11 out, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the gear. There's the gear coming down. I say this is a man's plane, but other people disagree. They say the 727 is more like that. But oh, I need to add power. Yeah, I need to add some power. Man's. All right. Yeah, we're looking good. There's another plane going into land, so it could get interesting. All right, we're at 2,000 feet. We're supposed to be at 1,700, so we're definitely going to intercept the glide slope from above. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the approach to auto approach. Now it's just up to me to manage my speeds. On the FlyJSim, if we go over to the landing card, if we're going to do a flaps 40 landing, our VREF is 120. Let's set the bugs. VREF 120. Okay. Oh, man, this is scary. I can see the runway, though. I could visually do this. Oh, Fly787, thank you for continuing the gifted sub from 2K's Delta. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming live. Talk to us.
Oh, yeah. You betcha. And Shell, I still do a little bit. We have to do the plotting on paper across the ocean. But for the most part, EFBs are the way to go. It's way better.
I'm pretty slow. I'm going to add a little bit of power. All right, we're coming up to, we're supposed to be at, we're above the glide slope now. Oops. Bring back the power. And I'm going to put in additional flaps. Gear down, 3 green. Oh, one thing that's very important, but I got distracted, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights. I'm also going to arm the speed brake. Arm spoilers.
Spoilers armed.
No, they're not. I think they're armed now. All right, that Alaska 12 just landed right in front of us. That's pretty cool. Someone tell me, go to flightradar24.com. You can tell me where that Alaska 12 just came in from. I think it's Alaska. ASA? Or is that not? That's Alaska, right? All right, we are in the lane. Tower has asked us to slow to whatever the slowest we can go normal speeds. I don't know how would they phrase that? Because we're letting that Alaska get off the runway. Is there anyone behind us? Imagine. Oh, look, there's a JetBlue 1750 right above us. He looks high. Oh, baby. Look at this windiness coming into Boston. The live traffic will take a few of your frames, and so sometimes you want frame rate on landing. Yeah, that JetBlue is going to yeah. I'm keeping the speed up. I'm tempted to, well, here we go, flaps 30. Fully configured. Let's do it. There's the JetBlue. Oh, they're lined up right behind me. That's amazing. 500 feet. Landing. Continue. Minimum approach speed. Yeah, minimum approach speed. That's the phraseology. Pappies are happy. Oh, snack. Add power. Oh man, that autopilot was really saving my bacon. Never mind the JetBlue. We're a little bit fast. Oh, snack. We're gonna float this because. Oh my gosh, I might have to go around. That's sport. Even though it's just gusty. Yeah, it's just gusty. Fuel prevented us from doing a go around. It's very fascinating in the sim world how we can choose to not go around when protocol would dictate that that's a definite go around. Absolutely 1000% that is a go around, boys.
Yeah, that is.
Yep.
Only because of the float.
Yeah, just because
Our
of the
man,
float and it wasn't stable. It wasn't stable. And you're supposed to land in the first, 1,500 feet or at least first third of the runway, right?
yeah, it's the first 3,000 or first third,
Yeah.
and our ops now it's a mandatory go around if you can't do that.
Mm.
So if you stretch it out, and even if you have 13,000 feet of runway, it's whatever first. So if you get to 3,000 feet down the runway and you still have 10 grand out there ahead of you,
Yeah.
like a DFW, guess what? You got to go around. If
Yeah.
you land beyond that, you're going to get a call from the gatekeeper wondering why you didn't go around.
Yeah.
You will get a call,
There.
not from a chief pilot, but from
Yeah.
a union guy who follows that data.
There's no shame in going around. It's one of the best decisions you can go, even if you. It's like someone told me once, if you even think the thought of go around, you probably should go around, regardless of any circumstance. If it just comes into your head, go around. In this case, I'm time crunched and I'm in a sim, but it's funny. You get the sensitivities of the joysticks and the dynamics. I mean, in this case, it was the wind was 216, so it's almost a direct headwind. Now it's 20 knots, but it was gusting to 32. You would think with that wind, it being 221, that my plane wouldn't be wiggling around that much with that because it's like a direct headwind. You would think, but I guess with the gusting, it could be a variable heading on those gusts potentially.
Well, see, and this is where flight simming without any G forces, any feeling in the airplane, because that's really your sixth sense. You get this sixth sense through their fingertips,
Yeah.
especially in a manual type of airplane like this. In
Yeah.
other words, non fly by wire.
Yeah.
You really do get a different feel that you use to help fly the airplane.
Yeah.
And so like you were kind of over controlling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't mean to be real critical.
No,
here,
I
constructively.
exactly.
Um, you were doing a little bit of pilot induced stuff because maybe lag that's in your control system, your
Mm-hmm.
your yoke or what have you.
Yep.
And I've done the same thing in these flight sims. So if you can resist moving that aileron very much,
Mm-hmm.
that will help you. But that's kind of hard to do when you're starting. I mean, I did one last night. It was pathetic. You should have seen what.
Oh, if you don't have some really bad landings, you're not simming enough.
Yeah.
And there's guys with like you and others that have thousands of hours in the real world, and they get in the sim, and yeah, it's a different animal but you have to have some basics. You still, I needed to be at VREF at a certain point. I needed to get that bird slowed down early. I need to get the flaps out. I need to get this, everything configured to try to make it be a successful landing. At the last minute, I did have a little bit of a low frame rate with regard to all of the injected real world jets coming in. But that's no excuse. I still should have gone around. But like right here, I'm still yeah. Anytime I'm below 30 FPS, I have there's a little bit of response time deviation with regard to input versus what the plane's doing. But also, if it's been 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months since I've flown this plane, this one feels different than the Zibo or the PMDG products or the Airbuses that I fly. There's a lot of variations, but at the end of the day, that I'll go on record as saying that should have been a go around. Where would Western park?
Western was
Delta?
bought up by let's see. Gosh, I can't remember now. Did they go
I
with
think
Delta?
someone
They
said
might have.
Delta in 80 something.
Yeah, it was mid 80s.
I'm just gonna park. I'm gonna taunt the United guys, just because I can. There we go.
Now, is that a Boston scenery add-on?
That is indeed a beautiful Boston, and it is 100% free.
Oh, good night. Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
I gotta start flying XP because, ooh, that's beautiful.
And even the city is fantastic. So, but yeah, it's Mr. X. He put out a bunch of very professional freeware for X-Plane. He did San Francisco for free. He did Phoenix for free, Portland for free, Boston for free, and 2 or 3 others like San Diego, and a few others. And he then went payware, deservedly so. Give the man a little bit of fruit for his labors, right? And so his first airport that he came out with was Salt Lake City. And I actually was very honored when he had me go and take pictures of things at the airport. So I took video and pictures, and he incorporated some of those pictures and other resources into the Salt Lake City payware, and it just got updated to version 1.5. And it's this is a freeware package from him, but his short final design commercial company is the what is it, $20, 18, $20, something like that for the beautiful Salt Lake City. And he also has a beautiful Albuquerque. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't touched the X-Plane world, it's a whole different world. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I prefer some things on this platform over the other platform. But yeah, I'm using SkyMax Pro, Ryan's. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't really delved all that much into the XP platform, but I will. And then of course with MS 2020 coming out, I mean that thing looks just sick.
It
That looks
does.
really cool. So
It all comes down to a matter of when the when the products, the third party planes are available for that. So we're all super excited about that for sure.
Turbinator, I should do a YouTube on that, how to do the old manual, get a sectional chart and show guys how to plot a cross country trip. That'd be kind of fun.
You should live
I haven't
stream.
done that in years.
You should
done that.
You should live stream. You don't have to have a webcam. You can just live streams and talk and just have fireside chats. In fact, you know what we should do? One episode of PB and J and M, our talk show, we could have you on, and that would be fantastic. That would be really, really cool, because the guys are going to tune into this VOD later and go, what? I missed this guy? Because you just have a lot of valuable information.
Yeah, that'd be neat to do. I'd be game for that, for sure. Yeah, it's been fun, John. By the way, my real name's Tom. I don't mind if anybody knows that.
First name access. Well,
yeah, first name only.
Tom, but, do you have any questions for the chat, or me, or for the chat?
I have so many. I'll give them to you as I start getting into the XP thing, because by the way, your comments about Mr. X, I totally agree. You put in hours and hours and hours of coding.
Mm-hmm.
God bless the guy. He absolutely deserves money for that. And it's neat that he gave it away for free, and I have no problem paying for my stuff. So I've always thought that, yeah, intellectual property is important. Don't steal it. It's somebody's work. I don't give my airline free time.
No,
Um,
yeah.
Now I do if it's flying military charters or something like that,
Mm.
charitable type things I do, but not, you know what I'm saying. So anyway,
Yeah, he's actually in college, and so he's doing this, and he comes into the Twitch chat in John Fly's chat here, and it's an honor to
that's
have
great.
him. And he lets me beta test some of his and do some like pre-release products because he also has a package that's it's called SFD Global, and so it sets a bunch of autogen buildings and trees and and low-level detailed stuff for outside of your ortho photo. It's a whole new world over here. I could go on for hours.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have plenty. You've got a lot of add-ons I'd like to learn about to get. Um, that stuff is that's what makes the Sims really good. I mean, that just is beautiful eye candy. That is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Does Mr. X have a website? I don't. I think he has a Facebook page, but he's known as Short Final Design. And yeah, there's Lars Rash just linked up the Mr. X content that's free, and there's a bunch of stuff free. I think he did go payware on the Los Angeles, but I think there's an older free Los Angeles. But yeah, we're definitely happy to let people know about his products. But yeah, Boston's free. That was a fun approach. I should have gone around, but it was still cool. I liked all the real world traffic. Virus City, I was going to ask John, do you know if you can use overlays from SFD Global with Ortho? Kind of void now because of MFS, but curious. So my understanding is that you it's all about your order of scenery. Like generally, I'm not going to see any of the textures, the SFD textures on any area where I have ortho, but I am going to see autogen, is my understanding. But I really haven't investigated it enough. I should probably do so. We should probably try to find an SFD specific autogen object that we know is in a particular area, and one that has ortho, and then go test that out. So, but yeah, there's the xplane.org store where Short Final Design has his payware stuff as well.
Hey, John, are you using Orbix for I mean, that scenery as you were coming into Boston, even 100 miles out, looked really nice. Were you using Orbix?
You mean in P3D?
No, I mean, you were flying
Oh,
XP on this mission,
yeah. There's
right?
no Orbex products for X-Plane out on the east, up northwest, the northeast. Um, well, I take that back. They do have Terra Flora, I believe, which would be your forests, etc. The True Earth Orbex products that I have for X-Plane are Washington, Oregon, Northern California, and then I have a bunch of Orbex airports. So that they haven't. I'd like to have the True Earth because it's a version of Ortho that's really simple. I'd like to have True Earth everywhere on the planet, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see what the
So
future
is that
brings in. So this is ortho photo that I've created myself using freeware programs. So I've taken satellite images, converted them into a format that is compatible with X-Plane. And so when you're looking at the ground, outside of the airport, well, even inside the airport, it's got some mesh, but like anything out this way is like satellite photo.
wow?
That's
Oh,
incorporated into the sim, and so you get, yeah, and the roads, you get the moving traffic, and there, some of the ortho is more impressive in some places versus others, but yeah, it's all satellite images.
yeah, I'll have to look that. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTubes and stuff on doing.
Yeah, there's YouTube videos, and you can type in exclamation, I think exclamation ortho or exclamation ortho 4xp. Has a link to the actual program. It's not the easiest thing, and it does take a lot of disk space. I have 17 terabytes of ortho photo, so you can get, yeah,
Holy.
yeah. You can get away with 4 terabytes of ortho just for the U.S. if you do a high level, what's called a zoom level 17. So
Oh man, looks like I gotta invest in some more drives, huh?
you know,
WD Blacks maybe.
Yep, and try to get at least 7,200 RPM because it makes your makes things a little bit better. We'd all love to have orthophoto on SSD if we could, solid state, but yeah.
I get a little bit pricey.
I have Europe, and that's what Europe and Australia and New Zealand and the US, and I have like it may be over 17 terabytes now, so it's a little bit crazy.
You got quite the nice rig.
You know what? I have been very fortunate all along. These very generous folks in the chat rooms have helped me offset the cost of a lot of hardware. So they help me make my sim that much better. So it's very generous
Well, that's really neat.
yeah.
Yeah, my system's not too bad, but I don't have anywhere. Are you like networking to a couple of computers to drive different things? Or?
Nope, all one computer. Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's all. That's what I'm doing.
I
too.
used to do 2 computers for the streaming aspect, but I stopped that because it was hard to balance the audio, this, that, and the other. And now I've got it refined down to one PC. But as you can see there, my graphics settings for X-Plane were probably turned a little bit too high for everything that I had going on because, again, I had a lower than 30 FPS frame rate coming into Boston. And I try to stay above 30 minimum. So, but anyway. I've got to run, and I'm going to come back tonight. We're going to be doing some trucking with. There'll probably be a few of us trucking together tonight on the multiplayer. We're going to have a good time. So if any of you guys want to check us out, but Tom, please come back soon and talk to me and teach me. And if you need any help from a sim perspective, me and my Discord are at your disposal.
Well, I really appreciate that, John, and everybody in chat. Thanks for your questions and your kind comments. Yeah, I look forward to this. I love to share the gift that I've been given, and I try not to take it for granted. It's been, I've been a very blessed man to be able to do the kind of flying I've been able to do, and to share that with you guys is great. John, thanks again for your kindness and allowing me to come on here. And yeah, let's get together. If I wasn't doing something tonight, I'd join you on the truck simulator because I like that too. American,
You're good. You're good. We misbehave
so.
on that truck simulator. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, I know. I've heard you a few times. I've lurked on you with that a few times. You're fine with that with me. But maybe I can do that with you one of these days.
All right, sounds
guys,
good.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Tom.
Blessings to everybody. Have a great day.
Yep. All right, gentlemen, ladies, thank you. We're going to send it over to a landing. Let's catch this guy on landing. You guys take care and talk to you tonight. See you. Love you all.